Job creation back on life support. Last month, the fewest number of jobs added in 3 years, just 74,000. 10.4 million Americans out of work. And with the Obamacare employer mandate looming, is it about to get worse?
Many firms are stopping new hires and cutting workers' hours because of the mandates of this new law.
So is the head of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce right or not? Hi, everyone. I'm Brenda Butner. This is Bulls and Bears. And the Bulls and Bears this week, we've got Gary B. Smith, Tracy Burns, Jonas Max Ferris, John Layfield, along with Bernard Whitman. Welcome to everybody. John, you've been warning about this. Going to get worse?
Yeah, we've been warning about this the whole time. You know, something about this whole thing is going to be free just didn't resonate. We said this is going to be paid for through tax dollars. That is exactly what it's being paid for. We said we're going to have higher premiums. That is exactly what's going to happen. We said we're going to have fewer health care options. That is exactly what's going to happen. We just had a terrible jobs number. The unemployment rate went down, but we had the lowest labor force participation rate since March of 1978. 35 years. It's been Jimmy Carter's days since we had fewer people that were employed percentage-wise than right now. This Obamacare is adding to the problem, as in the fact that we're looking at long-term unemployment benefits. What people want are jobs, but we're doing everything we can to hurt the fact that this country cannot create jobs.
Bernard, did this jobs report convince you that Obamacare could hurt the job market?
No, not at all. And of course, you know, John's playing the role of Chicken Little again, and the head of the
Watch out!
The head of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
You don't know who he is.
The head of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is talking down the economy. That's terrific. Let's get to the facts. The facts are, in the latest survey of CFOs, 4% of CFOs said that they would shift to part-time hiring as a result of Obamacare. That is hardly a number that suggests that hiring is going to be affected negatively because of the Obamacare mandate. I think that we have some structural issues with the economy. I think that we need to continue to find ways of boosting jobs, and I think a bipartisan approach is the way to go. Fighting Obamacare tooth and nail is not going to help.
Well, Tracy, but we're seeing so much uncertainty. Why would a small business sit down and say, I want to add 4 more workers when they have no idea what it's going to cost?
Right, and they won't, Brenda. That's the point here. And that survey of CFOs, we're talking about the Fortune 500. Sit down and talk to a small business owner, and he's going to say, between taxes, regulations, I have no idea what's coming down the pike next year. I'm not hiring. As a matter of fact, small businesses have said, and they've made it very clear, because the small business optimism index is down. They are not hiring, and if they do, it is part-time employees only, because they don't want to be locked in to have to pay benefits when they don't know what the number's going to be.
Now, Gary B., a lot of this is anticipation, projections. We did have a very bad jobs report, but is there a test case at all, any past evidence that might tell us what will happen with jobs when Obamacare is fully in effect?
Exactly, Brenda. You know, me as kind of anti-big or bigger government, my gut reaction was to say, well, this is going to be bad. But you're right. We haven't done it before. I think that's what, you know, even Bernard implied, that, you know, we have to wait and see. But we have a test case, as you say. We have Massachusetts, and there I'll be honest with you, I was kind of surprised to see that their employer mandate really has had very little negative effect, and I think it's for 2 reasons. And the Obamacare employer mandate, the employers will actually get a tax credit. So that's good for them, and it's going to help offset a lot of those costs, of course, reduce the taxes. In lieu of that, in order to attract, and this is the other reason I think it hasn't had a negative effect in Massachusetts, employees are seeing this as a benefit. So it's either kind of give me this, this health insurance, or pay me more. I think in this case, because the way the taxes are set up under Obamacare, it probably behooves employers to actually, give them this Obamacare, because they get the tax credit. So it remains to be seen. It might not, if we can base it on Massachusetts, be as bad as I might have anticipated.
Okay, Jonas, weigh in here.
That's a good point, because we don't know how people are going to think, because some people aren't in the labor force. That's why the numbers of people out who took themselves out of the labor force are so high. They might be like, well, I could get a job, even a crummy job now has a pretty good health care plan. So you don't know what the effect is. I will say in general, and this doesn't mean the plan's good, but the actual effect from employers, let's say the government mandated that a company has to pay $500 of your health care costs, of your housing costs. Are they going to fire everybody because of that? No, because they're just going to take it out of your other compensation. And that's what we're going to see is pay raises are not going to go up to counter any additional health care costs. Unless the government mandates the total compensation doesn't go down, the labor cost to the employer isn't really going to go down over the years. So there probably won't be a whole lot of firing going on because of it.
But I think, Jonas, actually, to your point, the thing is, too, CFOs are saying, hey, the costs are going to go up and we're not going to pay them. If it starts cutting into profits, they're either going to lay people off or they're going to push these costs out onto us. That means the products that these companies are making are going to cost us more money. So CFOs are not going to foot the bill to this the second they see numbers go bad, because nobody wants to miss earnings on Wall Street these days. So that's where the CFOs are going to come in and say, no mas, you pay it.
Okay.
But
John,
that's why they're not going to fire somebody, because they're going to pass it on to consumers.
But they're not going to hire anybody either.
Tracy, the facts are that we have seen the lowest rise in healthcare spending in over 50 years. We had a less than half a percent rise.
That was way before Obamacare.
I'm not saying, so fine, so don't credit with Obamacare. The fact is, the price of healthcare is going up less and less and less than it has in 50 years. And we have seen skyrocketing healthcare costs for 2 decades. CFO has been passing this off onto employees for decades.
But you don't know what 2014 is going to. You don't know what 2014 is going to look like. These numbers haven't kicked in yet. You watch how the price of the widget you go buy on Saturday morning is more money because of this.
Okay, John, part-time workers, that's a big part of this, is that employers are not wanting to buy hire full-time workers because they'll have to give Obamacare benefits.
Right, and that's where a lot of people are migrating to. And but go back to Bernard's point about healthcare costs coming down. It started in 2009.
Right.
Bernard, I hate to tell you this, but Obamacare wasn't around in 2009. Had to do with the recession, and that's what over 80%, according to most studies, have attributed this to. I understand you're trying to spin this the Democrats look better, but that's simply just not factual. What we're looking at is the fact that we have structural high unemployment here in this country, and because of the energy sector. Keeping energy prices low, manufacturing is coming back, jobs are being created, but we're seeing taxes being increased on everything else. So we're seeing structural unemployment here, and that is set to stay because this administration is the most business-unfriendly administration probably in the history of this country.
Bernard?
Well, let's see. We've had the greatest job growth of late. The stock market, how's your portfolio doing? The stock market went up 27%.
1978 was the last time we had the labor participation rate this rate. Since Jimmy Carter, 35 years.
That's right. Jimmy Carter was president when we had this low of a job participation rate.
I will tell you, Wall Street obviously is bullish on 2014 because I don't think that the stock run-up would have occurred if businesses did not believe in the future of this country and the future of this economy.
Okay, Gary B, there's lots of...
And all of us at this table have benefited quite well from it.
Everything the Obama administration has done has backfired. It has not helped the middle class one iota. The rich keep getting richer every day. Exactly what they didn't want to do.
The middle class has IRAs and savings accounts and retirement accounts, and they're doing quite well.
Guys, hold on. All right. Good segment. There we go. While there may be a debate over Obamacare's impact on jobs, there's no debating this. Workers' health care costs are spiking. And guess who's getting hit the hardest? Neil's gang is on it at the bottom of the hour, but up here